What's up, guys? Joe Youngblood with Tradger Farms. I'm a whitetail habitat specialist alongside Whitetail Habitat Solutions with Jeff Sturgis and the gang. Hope everyone's doing well. Today I wanted to go over a kind of an unboxing review, first use of this Ken Onion Work Sharp Sharpener. It seemed very cool. I believe they do have it at Cabela's and stuff. I bought it off a different website. Whoa, excited. It plugs in, it's electric, but basically it runs sandpaper around in a circle, and you get 4 or 5 different of these sandpapers here of different grit levels to sharpen knives. The one cool thing that I liked about this, besides hoping for simplicity, is that you can really choose the angle very easily, which is nice. So whether you're doing a nice knife like meat eaters, kind of like a fillet knife, but deboning, if you will. I used this to butcher deer last year. Definitely want to keep it nice and sharp. Don't want to let things get too dull, so that it's very not only easy to sharpen, but tends to stay in better form, if you will. But so you can not only pick the angle that you want with the turn of a knob. You have both guides for both sides of the knife so that you can run it along both sides. You get a nice good edge, change the sandpaper out rather easily. You can also push this button here in, and this turns. So if you wanted to actually like grind something like a lawnmower blade, if you will, you can do that as well, not just sharpen. It even has a little pocket here and some different stuff. Like this is for scissors, I believe. You can put the scissors in there. So it has a lot of different functions, which I really liked. I don't, want to have something out 10 times a year. I want to be able to do all my knives, pocket knives, hunting knives, kitchen knives, and just be done, have it last a while, and then break it back out 6 months, a year, what have you later. Another thing that I wanted to go over real quick before we get some use in is this little bar here. And these spin, these black things. And so when you run a blade from this side and pull at about 1 inch per second, you can run the blade along this as you pull. And so for like a nice kitchen or fillet knife, that would be well. Now, if you have a pocket knife, well, I should have a nice example for you. A pocket knife, well, that's actually not a good example. But many knives have a kind of a stopper. The sharp edge does not go all the way to the bottom. And so for that, that might kind of get in the way. You don't want to run the sandpaper over an area that's not meant to be sharpened, if you will. So for that, you can actually take this and you can pull it and turn it. And now this is out of the way, and you can run your knife through exactly where it starts to sharpen the blade without kind of, messing up or deforming the knife where it's not meant to be sharpened. So I thought that was very cool. It's definitely something where you guys want to run through the manual here, 10 to 15 minutes or so. It's not a ton, but all this stuff that I'm learning, it definitely gives you a better idea about how to use this. A good example would be, I would think usually when you use fast moving devices, you usually get them going and then enter your cut, like a saw, like a miter saw or something like that. You bring it up to speed, you make your cut, or a chainsaw, same principle. However, with this, it actually recommends you place the blade down, get it situated, turn it on, and simultaneously start pulling it back and then releasing it once you do the tip of the blade. So I thought that was kind of unique, where again, most you have get going at full speed, you run it through, or this, you kind of set it on. You never want any really jerky reactions or catches, even though there's no teeth on these per se. But just something unique that I'm getting from reading this manual. It also has some examples, if you can see, of kitchen knives, outdoor knives, different types, and what they recommend for, sorry, you probably can't see these too well, but what they recommend for how many passes, what speed to use, and how many passes with each sandpaper, per grit, and kind of working your way from, a heavier grit down to a nice fine and being done, or some that maybe they don't recommend fine at all, and some maybe they don't recommend any of the heavy for really nice knives potentially, and different types. So that kind of gives you a good idea. Definitely, again, would spend 10 minutes or so reading on this. We are gonna plug it in, maybe show you a couple other things, run a knife through it, and then just check results on a couple of these knives and give you my 2 cents. So if it's something you're in the market for, hopefully it helps. Another thing I don't think I mentioned, guys, is that these different sandpapers here, they don't all have the number on it. They have, you know, some different colors. I'm a little colorblind, but in here it does have kind of the color with that grit number. So you can kind of see that this is the most coarse, then the one on it is the next down to extra fine. I'm gonna number them with a Sharpie in the manual and then put a number on the inside of these sandpapers, so that it's very easy to tell when you're changing out or doing multiple knives and need to make a switch. Because again, some of the insides of these just don't have the actual numbers in there. So hope that helps. All right, so for my first knife, I'm gonna do this Meat Eater Meat Crafter. They have a new version now, but I think you can still get this one. It's about half the price of that new version's, like over 400 bucks. It's crazy. Not that good, but still super nice knife. And it actually says on the website, it's a 28-degree angle, kind of an all-purpose deboning fixed blade hunting knife, but worked great last year, again, like I was saying. So I am actually gonna start on the, I think, medium. It does say here, kitchen knives, and it says, outdoor knives, but like more of a fillet knife. There is a speed. It does recommend a 20-degree angle, but hunting and pocket knives are 25 degrees. And because I know the angle on this knife already, I'm gonna keep it at 28. And another thing I didn't really notice previously, there are micro indentations above this dial. So you can actually do pretty exact numbers. So I'm gonna keep it 28, and for my other knives, it looks like for the others, I'll go to 25 degrees, or for the kitchen knives, maybe something closer to 20 degrees. You can adjust the speed. There's this red dial, so you can adjust that. It does tell you low on most, low medium for hunting knives is kind of where you're at. So I got it on medium. This is how it sounds. There is a locking feature also. So if you're kind of doing a lot of the same knives and you want to lock it and just kind of keep going and going and going, change the belt, go, and be done. I think it's pretty quick once you get to using this and get used to it. So I'm gonna start just because this is, you know, really, I only used it a couple times, barely, and kind of babied it. I don't think I need a course. So I'm just gonna start medium and fine. I'll feel it and see how that does. And it says to go to that fine, do 10 strokes each side. Remember, the number is for each side. And then don't even worry about the extra fine for this. It says just to use extra fine and only extra fine for serrated blades, which you only do one side of, and the gut hook. So let's give this a whirl. All right, we got the 28 degrees set. It says 6 to 10 coarse, 6 to 10 medium. Because we're not doing the coarse, I'm just gonna go ahead and do 10 or so each side with the medium on this sucker and see how it goes. I forgot, it says to put the blade in, start it, and then run it. So I'm gonna put it in first, and then remember, with this curved tip, it's important to then change the angle so that you stay rather perpendicular to the sandpaper when you go. If it doesn't have that curved tip and it's just straight, then you will just keep the blade going back and forth. Well, just back. That's a few. I'm not gonna lie, it does take some getting used to to keep it pressed to the outside of this guard here, to keep it down, and then to also simultaneously control the trigger and curve it. It does take a little bit of practice. I can see it's actually very smooth on this one side, so curious when I do the other how sharp this is going to be. But that's exciting. Seems like it's working good. Let's do a couple more, go to the other side, and then see how it works. Probably should have practiced on a different knife. Wow. It seems pretty dang good, guys. I almost want to say that one side might be slightly sharper. I don't know if I did even. I can tell there is some dust, so it is working good. I think it'll just take a little bit of practice. Let's get some paper here. Don't want to cut myself, but we haven't done the fine blade, so it seems like it is pretty dang sharp for my uses, but we'll keep practicing. All right, just to give this a full review, let's go ahead and take this medium paper off. Let's go put the fine one on and then check out the knife again. The other ones went on quite easy. This fine one seems to be, oh, there we go. Okay, that seemed much easier there the second time. I'm not sure what the issue was, but just want to make sure you are in between these guiders, and then these other rollers will kind of keep it in place. So I don't know why that took so long, but it's really not too hard. All right, so it didn't do a ton of sharpening, but I'd say it feels pretty dang good, guys. We can try the paper test again. This probably isn't the best with such a small piece of paper, but as you can see, I am getting a pretty decent cut. So I might do it a few more times, but I'd say working dang good. I like the fact that, you know, I can definitely see stuff is coming off of it. And we really didn't do any coarse grinding and not too much really strokes in general for this one knife. So overall, I'm pretty happy. I think other knives will get even better with some of the coarse stuff. I just didn't want to overdo it on my first one. But I would probably recommend this sharpener at a pretty reasonable price point for you guys if that's something that you're looking for. See you next time.